going on? Welcome back to another episode here on my Falappi YouTube channel. Today, we have some lawnmowers that we're going to be working on. Now, if you've seen the title of the video, you've seen what I've ended up doing. The plan is we're going to start working with the Lawnboy here, and if we can fix it really quick and there's not a lot of footage, we're going to move on to fixing this one here, versus if this one takes a long time to work on, then there'll be two separate episodes. If you haven't watched our channel update video that we posted a few videos back, I mentioned I got both of these from my mother's friend, and the goal is to get at least one of them running and back to her within, I don't know, pretty short window of time, or as soon as possible. There's no date, but basically as soon as we can. And this is the one that she said she'd really like back, but if it doesn't work, then we'll try to get this one. Like I said, this is Lawnboy, 4.5 horse, 2-stroke, commercial, silver, whatever. Lawnboys are a little confusing. This is a Murray 5-horse Briggs, both self-propel. If you've watched the channel long enough, you saw my video. The first couple videos we put out were working on our Craftsman Gold Series 675 or 6.75 Briggs engine. So I have a little bit of experience with the Briggs, so it might be a little bit easier to work with this one, but we're going to start with the Lawnboy. So the Lawnboy is drained, it's ready to go, so we're going to wheel it into the shop and we're going to get working on the Lawnboy, guys. Okay guys, we're in the shop now. Sorry about the fan noise. It's a little hot in here, so I really don't have many options. So what we know about this Lawnboy here, this Silver Series 4.5 horse 2-cycle, it's a little older. Obviously Lawnboy hasn't been around for a while, I think. I don't know exactly how long Lawnboy's been out of the picture. This is from the 90s as far as I can tell. I've had two models from the 2000s over the years. I had a similar 2-stroke commercial grade one here, and then a couple years ago I had, it was a 4-cycle, probably built, it looked like it was built on a Briggs platform versus these. I have to get under here and look, but I think that they're Tecumseh, maybe. If not, then Kohler, but I'm pretty sure they're built off the Tecumseh. Let me know in the comments if you know. But yeah, so what my plans are is I want to pull this inspection cover and look at what's going on, because as far as I know, there should be no reason that this thing isn't running. It feels like it has compression. I don't know for sure, but so I want to pull this inspection cover and take a look. And then from there, if I can't find anything that makes me, like, I look at it and can tell instantly why it's wrong, then I'm going to just try to clean the carburetor and do that. And, you know, if that doesn't work, then I don't know what to tell you, because it is what it is. I want to try to get this mower running. I love these. I prefer these to some other options that exist. So, yeah. I'm going to set you up on a time lapse, and I'm going to pull the inspection, pull this, this covering off, and we're going to take a look under there and see what's going on. And then if I see anything interesting, I'm going to bring you guys back. Okay? Sounds good to me. it only took me a couple minutes to find something interesting, and it's that this air cleaner on this thing is absolutely filthy. Look at what was in the air box on this lawnmower. You ever wonder if this is why it didn't start? I don't know. Well, I have an idea. That could be it. So we're just gonna get rid of this. I'm not putting that thing back in there. Yeah. Before I go any farther with this thing, I think I'm just gonna spray some stuff in this lawnmower and see if it'll make it work. Also, we're gonna torque down the spark plug, because I didn't actually bother torquing that down when I put it in the other day. But I swear, if all that this thing needed was to pull this cover off and try to, like, replace, what's going on in there, that would be something. If, by some chance, this needs new fuel lines, I don't actually have the correct gauge fuel line for this mower, so we're going to have to go out and buy that real quick. But yeah, this might have just been a lot easier than I thought it would be, but at the same time, it might not. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and try some things, and I'll get back with you. So I've tried a few options that haven't really been working. So I think what the best game plan of action is going to be is to pull that air box and then pull the carb. Because I have a feeling that if that stuff was in the air box, I don't want to know what's in the carburetor. So we're going to pull the carb off and see where we can go from there. And then after that, we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I'm assuming there's some kind of blockage in that carb and probably the fuel line. I said I don't have fuel line for that. I do have fuel line that'll work for that. I don't have choke cord, like choke line, that thinner stuff. But we can make it work. So stay tuned, guys. Well, guys, I made an executive decision. This engine, for what it is pretty, I don't know, it's pretty, dirty. It's pretty messed up. I want to fix it. I really do. And I'm going to. But I think that for what I'm trying to do, basically what I want to do is I want to give one good, reliable lawnmower to my mom's friend. And this engine ain't it. I've heard a lot of bad things about these engines. Because basically what I've figured is it's going to be easier to work on this engine up on a bench off the mower. And if I'm going to pull the engine off anyway, I don't really want to put it back on. So we're pulling this engine off this thing. And once I get it off, I'll decide what's going back on. But it ain't going to be that. Because, yeah, I want to fix it off the mower anyway. So I'm going to pull the engine off, pull the blades, everything off, and then we're going to put a different engine back on, and we'll get with our options on that in a little bit. So stay with me, guys. Well, guys, we're back. What we're going to be doing now, like I said, we're going to pull the blades and the engine. I thought about time-lapsing this, but I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably interested in it anyway. So basically, in order to pull the blades and everything, I've known one too many people who have lost fingers and stuff for messing with blades and things. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the spark plug just so that there's absolutely no chance that this thing can turn over. I don't think this thing had any chance of turning over anyway, but I just want to be sure because I don't want any incidents going on. So pull our brand new Champion plug out of there. You can see that nothing's really happened with that because it hasn't fired yet. I'll just throw that in there and keep it there. So now what we're going to do, so now that there's like no compression, we're going to put this thing over towards you so you can see it. And I don't have any gloves out here because, well, you know, I'm a real mechanic. Totally. And I don't have what I need, so we're going to try to do this without gloves. Let's see. I don't know whether this takes metric or SAE, so we're just going to, you know, take a wild guess. Here's what we have. Go. Too big. If you're wondering why I'm just breaking this, I want to put them all on socket rails anyway. Too small. Perfect. Hopefully we don't cut a finger off. Hopefully we don't get tetanus. Yeah, I don't feel safe doing that. Let me go get the gloves real quick. I'll be back. I'm also going to go get power tools because that sounds like a better idea. I've returned, guys. Don't let the Bauer bag fool you. Get some Milwaukee tools in here that I'm choosing to use today. We'll be running a homeowner grade impact driver using impact sockets. So hopefully this works. I don't know how well this will work. I've never done anything like this before, but we will see what we can do. It's working, guys. It's working. There you have it, guys. This stuff is rusty as hell. I ain't kidding. It might be worth it to go out and buy a new blade for this because, yeah, this blade is very dull and it's kind of rough. So, from there, we can now try to pull this engine straight off. And, you know, whatever happens, happens, I guess. Maybe we'll just try to bust this stuff apart from the underside. Rather than screw the tools and take a lot of time we don't have. It's too big. Pardon my ignorance when it comes to bolt sizes. I talk like I'm a professional, but I'm just like y'all. I'm out here learning, trying to figure out how this works. And I was correct in believing that that would just pull the engine straight off. Now I just got to figure out how to disconnect this belt. This belt's the last thing holding it on. I don't want to cut this. Maybe if we pull the inspection cover on this belt. Where did I put my cap? Yes, not the right seat. Is it the right? Yep. Where's the good old device of persuasion at? Sometimes a hammer is all you need, guys. Or maybe not. For any of you guys wanting to emulate something, I wouldn't recommend emulating what I'm about to do. Where is my I had a utility knife out here somewhere. Basically what I want to do is cut this belt. Not recommended, but this engine, this thing probably needed a new belt anyway. I mean, it's kind of crusty, so There you go. Well, we're back. You might be wondering why I pulled old Smokey into the picture here from our free Lawnmower Revival series. But in all honesty, the answer is, as much as I don't like this lawnmower, I think it's still better than the engine up there. So, what I want to do is pull the engine off this, stick it back onto our lawnmower deck over here, and see if it'll cut like that. Because, yeah, I promised her a lawnmower, and we're giving her a lawnmower of some kind, regardless of whether it's this or something else. I thought about going out and buying a Harbor Freight motor, but it seems that Harbor Freight no longer carries lawnmower engines for some reason. So, we're giving her this, if we can get it off and get it back on. So let's get started with that. Again, hoping this just isn't taking gas out all over the place. It is what it is. Hoping we can pull this belt off of this drive without breaking it. Otherwise, I gotta go over and buy a whole new set of belts and stuff, which I can do. That's not a problem, but anytime you don't have to go buy stuff, it's usually a pretty good time. I don't like spending money, if you haven't noticed. Now, keep in mind that nothing I'm doing is a tried and true answer to what we need done here. I've never done any of this before. So I'm hoping that this is like gonna work. Yeah, there we go. I have a feeling this lawnmower needs new blades too, but you know, it is what it is. Use the same deck bolt. Perfect. We got old Smokey's engine free. Now we just got to get it free enough to get off of here. So yeah, I'm gonna throw you all back on the time lapse again, and I'll get back with you when we're ready to try to mate these engines together. got the new engine in the shop. I think this is going to work, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it should. Very large emphasis on the word should. I'm all for giving it a go. So, holes look like they line up. So we're going to try to bolt this thing on right now, guys. Okay, guys. So, got the belt on. Came from Lowe's. It was like a 21-inch some belt. I think it'll work. So, basically, at one point I thought about trying to put this stuff back on. Screw that stuff. That's not going on. We're going to mount our Craftsman engine. That thing on there. We're going to see if it'll work. It should. I'm hoping it will. For those of you that don't know what's going on, because I'm sorry that this video has been sporadic as anything, I got this lawnmower. I pulled that airbox and filter off, and in my mind, it didn't make any sense to try to fix that today. Could I have? Maybe. But I read some things on forums that specific engine off of there is just really not good. So the likelihood of actually getting it to do what it needed to do was very low. So, in my mind, putting old Smokey here on this Lawnboy is probably going to be a better option in the long run. I would like to fix the Lawnboy engine. We're going to do that. We're also going to be fixing the Murray in the next episode. I'm assuming by now this video's, with the footage we have, even after editing, it's going to be too long. So we're not going to be working on the Murray in this episode. So I'm going to go ahead now, take the bolts and try to bolt the Craftsman Briggs motor up onto there. The holes look like they should line fine, because it looks like whenever they drilled this engine, when they drilled this deck, Lawnboy drilled it for either a 2-stroke like that or for some form of 4-stroke engine, 4-cycle engine. I don't know whether it would have been Briggs or a Honda or Tecumseh or Kohler. I don't know. My limited expertise in lawnmowers is mainly along the lines of Briggs and Honda stuff. Mainly Briggs, not even so much Honda. So, despite owning 2 Lawnboys, basically we kind of owned those until they kind of went so foobar that we pushed them to the curb. And I wish I would have kept them, because I know there would have been parts out there that I probably could have used on that engine. It's sitting on the workbench. So I want to do a detailed video where I just completely tear down that engine, block the heads to everything, and then we take a look at it. That'll probably be something to do this winter. But stay tuned for that. But I want to go ahead and get this video done. So let's get this stupid engine back on here, get everything wired up, and see if she'll go cut a little bit of grass. Because I do have a little bit of area where I think we could try to cut. So let's get going, guys. Well, guys, it's a new day here. I ended up having to go and do some other stuff yesterday, and I kind of just gave up working on this for the day. It's together, but it will not start the way it is. I could not get either set of, basically, what's wrong is, if you can see, this does this. The wire that this thing needs to, make it start isn't there. Basically, what that wire does is, if you see this thing pulls forward. So the wire connects here and it pulls tension so that you pull this down, then you could start the mower. Well, that isn't working right now. We can't see, you can't start that. The cable from the red, the Craftsman Gold engine isn't the right cable. And neither is this cable that came off the Tecumseh or Kohler, wherever that engine's from, the two-stroke. So I got to get creative. I got to order some parts. When those parts will be here, I don't know. So that's going to have to end today's video, guys. I'm sorry we didn't get to do, didn't get to fire this thing up in today's video. I really wanted to, but things happen, stuff happens, it didn't happen. So basically in our next episode, probably depending on how involved what we need to do is, I'll either try to combine finishing this mower with working on the Murray mower, the red deck one. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to do some research. Probably just going to go ahead, buy a new carburetor for that, along with air filter, spark plug, do an oil change. And hopefully, along with changing the fuel lines, she'll just fire right up. This thing, I'm not so sure how this thing's going to go, but well, we can try with this old Craftsman Lawnboy. That sounds so wrong on many, many levels. Craftsman Lawnboy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Remember, you like, comment, subscribe. That way you get more content going. And we'll see you guys on the next episode here on the Falappi YouTube channel. Take care.